Okay, I'm going to move on to my next subject. I have two presentations today, and for the next subject I'm going to ask Mark to come up. Mark is coming up as both the PWI New South Wales President, but also the President of our National Steering Group, which is what fellowship is about. So the fellowship is one of two things that we do, which is for the national PWI community, so that includes all our chapters. And for those that are not quite sure, that's South Australia and Queensland as separate chapters currently, but also Victoria and Western Australia, who are working under the umbrella of New South Wales. A very quick update. Most of you probably know about the fellowship program, but I will do a quick update and a quick plug for it, and then I'm going to hand over to Mark to support me with some updates. So I'm going to first of all, this is an opportunity for me on the stage to thank my team. I look after a growing technical team inside the PWI, and without my team's support, I wouldn't be here to stand up here and talk to you people. So I've got a number of people on my team. Luke Palmer, who looks after our city events. Luke Pleasance, who looks after the country events and was part of the team yesterday. Dylan Miller, who looks after our site visits. And together, Dylan and Andrew are running this Practical Rail Alliance. And then also, as it stands, I look after two Australia-wide communities. One is Rob McDonald, who runs the Lunch and Learns. I'm sure many of you have dialed into them. And also to Dale Smith, who is the person behind the fellowship program, really. It's Dale that's come up with all the work behind the scenes to make the fellowship work. So really wanted to thank those people and perhaps to give them just a quick thanks of our appreciation for them. Okay, thank you for that. So the next thing I want to talk about then really is the division between both members and fellowship, and that's not really right because it's important, I think really important that actually we grow our membership base and then fellows will come out the back of it. The first thing I want to do really is you'll see there we do have two grades of membership, and there's a couple of things I want to point out there. Just looking around the room, how many of you are members of the PWI in this room? How many people in this room? And that's fine, I'm not currently members of this room. So if you are currently a member of the PWI, please put your hand in the air. And look, and that's great as well. Many of you may well be here through your corporate company. I just asked if you found today useful that you do consider joining us. What's the benefit of joining? Well, one of the benefits straight away, and it's something else I'm not sure many of us have done so far, is to start using the post-nominals. If you are a member of the PWI, you're more than welcome to use MPWI Oz after your name. And if you're a fellow of the PWI, we encourage you to use FPWI Oz after your name. So to me, that's a great benefit, and it shows that we're part of a rail community. Okay, thank you. So, fellowship recap. Fellowship was introduced last year, 2024, as our highest grade of membership. Why did we do it? Well, we did it to raise a member's professional standing, increase recognition of their expertise, and enhance professional networks. And it also acknowledges the support of the PWI, and many fellows have been involved with events such as the Lunch and Learn over the last year, and also run these events. What is the criteria? The criteria is up on the screen, but effectively it depends on whether you're chartered or not. If you're chartered, the time period is 10 years to become a fellow. If you're not chartered, it's 25 years. There is a requirement to have worked in the Australian rail industry for 3 years, and there's some more subtleties. Most of that is online. If you wish to be considered for a fellow, or it's something you want to work to in the future, please do reach out to one of our existing fellows. I think there's a slide on that, and have a conversation with them to see if you meet the criteria, and if you don't, an opportunity to understand what you may need to do to become a fellow in the future. So, first of all, when I looked at the stats, and I wanted again to thank Dale for holding the stats together, I think it's amazing. In a year, we've gone from 0 to 50 fellows. So, thanks to all those that have committed to this initiative and have applied and have become fellows. That's really good news, so thank you for that. And how do we apply to be a fellow? It's a fairly simple process because that's how it's been written. So, first of all, I really encourage you to have a conversation with the referees. We have seen a few applications where we've needed to go back to the candidates just because they haven't had that referee check first. So simple thing, find 2 people that are fellows already. One has to be in the PWI, one can be outside. Have a conversation, see if you meet the criteria. That makes it a lot easier for us. Submit your application, which is through a online form. What happens then is I have a council that works with me. There's 12 on the council. 5 of us minimum have to meet up. We discuss the applications and we agree whether the candidate's successful. And if we are, they go through to the NSW for final sign-off. So that was that. Thank you. And what we want to do today is an opportunity, is just to ask some of our latest fellows to come up to the stage just to officially award them with their physical certificates. So if the following members could come up to the stage, that would be appreciated. Thank you. Okay, now for something new. As Mark's found out, I don't like to stick with one subject. I'm pretty good at trying to new things out, and this year Practical Rail Alliance is one of them. But another thing I did when I updated the terms of reference for the fellowship was to propose and have endorsed by our committee a new grade of fellowship membership. And the new grade of membership, it will be called the Honorary Fellow Membership. And it's a slight break away from what they do in the UK, but I felt it was important for us to recognise those people in the industry that make a particular contribution to the PWI here in New South Wales and Australia. And yeah, I'm really proud to us to move this forward. Because of its significance, I'm going to hand over to Mark, and Mark in his role as the NSW President. So over to you, Mark. Thank you for this.
Thanks, Neil. Yeah, Neil has been a breath of fresh air to the PWI, particularly running our technical sessions and also the work him and Dale have done in putting together this fellowship program. So it probably gives me a great honour to really look at a new thing that we're looking at, which is an honorary fellow. And we're probably really pleased to announce this today because this is slightly different to the fellows. This is for people who are distinguished individuals within the rail industry, but that also support the PWI in outstanding ways. And people who do that help us deliver what we do, give us access to their people, and actually support the PWI across Australia in many different ways. So it gives us that opportunity to thank and to celebrate those people and acknowledge their contribution to the PWI. So the one I'd like to give, first of all, is to Howard Collins, who's the Coordinator General of New South Wales Transport. Howard's been a great supporter of the PWI since he came to Australia from the UK. You know, I think the very first week you were here, Howard, I think I met you at a lunch and got introduced to you. Howard was, as I said, very, very early on, a great supporter of the PWI and has been ever since. Comes along to most of our events when he can, so really appreciate all your effort, Howard. It's really great to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah, you know me, I always say a few words. Hello everyone, hope you're enjoying yourselves, and look, it might be one person, but I have a team behind me and certainly who've contributed a huge amount to this. I'm wearing my PWI UK evening class education cufflinks today. And the other thing, I was absolutely delighted, Neil, when you said we're going to get a bunch of people doing some work on heritage. Being a Transport Heritage Director of New South Wales, fantastic. But also, it brought back memories for me. I bored people for years on this. I was 12 years old. I get down to rail heritage. I was in charge of the compressor for the air guns, renewing, taking metal sleepers out and putting wooden sleepers back on the Kent and East Sussex Railway. That's where I started in PWI, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, gosh, that must be 55 years ago and 49 years in rail. So thank you so much. I would shout out to Mark and the team. This is one of the best institutes in terms of technical support, but also as a big family of from retirees. I've met more retirees than actual members, I think, today, and they've all got smiles on their faces. It's a great family affair as well. And the other thing is, people like Ty, we need to get younger people, particularly women, into this industry. If someone like Ty can sort out bodily duplication with a few tears, but with a great outcome, that's what we need to see in the future. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks, Howard. The second person I'd like to thank and acknowledge as an honorary fellow for the recognition and support that they provide with the PWI, particularly in New South Wales, is Matt Longland. He's the Chief Executive of Sydney Trains. He's accountable for the delivery of the safe, reliable and efficient passenger rail services and rail network across the New South Wales rail system. So, as I said, Matt from day one has been a great supporter of ours since he became the Chief Executive. We have to build a stronger relationship with Sydney Trains moving forward. For those older people in the rail system, and particularly the PWI, you know, our roots come from what was the government railways back in 1974 when we started. So we're really keen to make sure we continue that great relationship we have. So thank you, Matt.
Well, given Howard said a few words, it'd be rude if I didn't say anything. Firstly, that's most unexpected, but a real honour. So thank you to Mark and to the PWI committee for that recognition. As Mark said, I think the PWI not only put on fantastic events, they do work week in and week out, technical work, practical work around connecting people in the rail industry. And I think as an organisation, Sydney Trains can get back to doing a lot more of that. So expect that we will be more involved, and that I think the benefits of connecting, particularly those that work in and around the rail corridor, there's a lot to be learned and information shared and knowledge to be gained. So thank you for this recognition, and I think it certainly, for me, signifies a really strong partnership between the organisation. Thank you.